What is going on, PBX Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central. My name is Fareed, and in today's video, I've got some brief updates and some news that I want to share with you guys surrounding the Paribus protocol. Now, for those of you who are just finding out or hearing about Paribus for the very first time, they're going to be a lending and borrowing platform, not only focusing on fungible tokens, but they're also going to be supporting NFTs and exotic assets. Now, keep in mind that as a part of the release of this platform, they're going to be doing this in iterative stages. So right now, what we're going to be expecting is going to be the launch of the V1 version of their platform, which just supports traditional lending and borrowing of fungible assets. Over the course of the next few months, we'll be hearing and seeing the adoption of NFTs as well as synthetic assets on the platform. We've also are waiting on the launch of their governance platform labeled VPBX, as well as the rollout of Paribus Pro for institutional adoption. Now, all of that aside, I do want to touch on the fact that this team did face a re-entrancy attack after launching on the Arbitrum mainnet, and kudos to them. They were fully transparent about this here, and what they've now done is go back to the drawing board, and they're now collaborating again with the Hacken Club on an additional code audit or code review in preparation for their relaunch. So that said, this particular tweet here was released by the team not too long ago, and what I want to do is touch on the results of their latest Hacken Club review, as well as the actual anticipated mainnet launch here for this platform. So it reads here from their official Twitter, the Paribus code has successfully undergone a final review by the Hacken team. I believe this is going to be the fourth review being done by Hacken against the Paribus platform. They're now nearing the final stage of reopening the mainnet V1 platform for the community to begin using it. Moving over into the actual review, which was posted in their official Telegram group, we can see that their documentation received a score of 10 out of 10, with 10 being the highest score available, whereas their code quality received a score of 9 out of 10. And then in terms of code coverage, which is basically just the amount of code that is able to be tested as new updates or new branches are pushed out, is set at 71%. So this could be a little bit better in terms of code coverage, but it is above 70%, which is quite good given the fact that we are dealing with crypto and the fact that a lot of this is brand new in the space. So I did want to touch on that there. In terms of security, they do have one low severity issue, which should not impact the actual platform that heavily, and they did get a full score of 10 out of 10. So things are looking quite well here when it comes to Paribus. And again, this is reviewing their latest review by the Hacken Club, given the fact that we had one occur in January, a second one occur in February, a third review in March, and then we're now on the fourth review, which has just taken place in the month of May. If you guys want access to this full report, I'll go ahead and leave it down in the description below. Now, jumping back over into Twitter, we have an official announcement, which was just made about 3 or 4 days ago, regarding the fact that the team is thrilled to announce that the Paribus Mainnet V1 will be reopening for public access beginning on Wednesday, May 31st at 12 p.m. or at noon UTC. On top of that, a special PBX reward bonus will be given out to borrowers utilizing the platform. So it looks like they're taking a much more different approach this time, almost incentivizing users to come onto the platform and leverage the Paribus protocol. So keep that in mind, and also keep in mind that they haven't actually given us all the details surrounding the reward bonus program, but they should be doing that, I believe, within the next 24 hours of me shooting this video. So I'll probably have another follow-up here touching on exactly how you guys, if you're looking to borrow using the Paribus platform, can also earn given that reward program. Now, the next thing I want to do is briefly jump into this article here, which is relating to the launch on the mainnet and exactly what changes the team has made. And then I also want to briefly touch on the fact that this team has adopted new advisors and they've also attracted some new funding. So if you guys are not already following this team on Medium, I recommend you guys go ahead and do so. They release articles about every 1 to 2 days, which are extremely insightful as to not only finding out more about what's going on within Paribus specifically, but also keeping you updated as to the entire broader crypto ecosystem. Jumping into the very first portion of the article here, it states, for those who've missed our announcements on social media, we are thrilled to share the exciting news that our mainnet V1 will be launching on May 31st. At Paribus, we've always emphasized the importance of security, and while we were extremely shocked and saddened by the exploitation of a loophole in our code, we firmly believe in finding the silver lining in every single cloud. Now, their dedicated developers have been working closely with Hacken, and that's what we just touched on there for their 4th review. And they've now collaborated with other audit companies to cross-reference the security of their code. So not only are they taking that 4th audit by Hacken, it also looks like they're also reaching out to other platforms in order to get their opinion as well. Now keep in mind that the Paribus code base did also become open source, which allows for the community to personally review it and for others to potentially catch something that any other auditors may have missed. In addition, we've also implemented additional features from Hacken to ensure quick detection of any potential future exploits. The next update I want to share here with you guys surrounding Paribus is going to be the fact that they've secured additional funding, pushing their runway out an additional 2 years. So the article reads, the additional funding of $700,000 we recently attracted not only extends our runway by a further 24 months, but it also demonstrates the strong fundamentals of our project. And so to me, what this screams is that there's still people who really truly believe in what Paribus is building, even though they had a minor hiccup with their first initial launch. So again, while it is an unfortunate circumstance, it is good to see that through all of this, right, there are still users and believers in Paribus and exactly what they're building. The very last thing I want to touch on here at the very bottom of this article is going to be surrounding the integration of NFTs, which, as I mentioned before, is going to be one of the key offerings of the Paribus platform. So while preparing for the relaunch, the team has also been diligently working on the NFT lending side of Paribus. As Dennis, their CEO, teased on Twitter, right, they'll be going live with this very soon. So the very last thing I want to do is break down some of the highlights and recap some of the information that was just shared by Dennis and the team as a part of their latest Twitter space. Now, these Twitter spaces are usually held once every other week, and make sure to go ahead and join them on Twitter if you have any questions that you guys want to ask, or again, you can alternatively join their Telegram or their Discord. So the first thing that was mentioned again was the fact that they'll be relaunching on May 31st, and in terms of assets, they'll be supporting fungible tokens. Second, they mentioned the fact that they'll be actively working on bridging capabilities in order to add more support and provide utility for the Cardano community and other token assets. Third, they're going to be providing a dynamic interest rate model, which will also be giving out rewards to borrowers. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be getting more information about that, hopefully very, very soon. Now, I did briefly touch on the fact that they do have new high-profile partners and advisors that have joined the team, and they'll be releasing more articles about that and going into more details surrounding how those partnerships and new advisors will be able to help the Paribus team achieve their vision and sustain longevity. Now, the next thing they touched on after that was the fact that they are making good progress when it comes to their NFT valuations, and the fact that they've already integrated a third-party partner, which will be released in the future version of their mainnet application. In closing, they talked about the fact that they are also developing their governance portal, which, as I mentioned before, will allow for PBX holders to vote on the direction and on some of the key features coming to the Paribus platform. I believe that that is going to be it there, again, for some of the updates that were shared as a part of that recent Twitter space. And I believe that's going to bring us to a close here for this video. If you guys found this particular update to be helpful or insightful in any way, shape, or form, I would really appreciate it here if you guys could tap that like button. If you guys want more content like this surrounding Paribus and Cardano, then consider subscribing. And if you guys have any questions for me surrounding anything that we touched on as a part of today's video, then please make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.